Hello, my name is Mr. McCloskey. I'm Deputy Head Teacher at Shenley Brook End School. I put this video together as I felt that you would probably want an update on what is going on around Year 11 and various things that might happen in the future. So I'm going to just talk briefly around a few areas. What will happen in the event of a school closure, and what might happen in terms of mock exams this year, final grades if the exams are stopped, Maths, English and Science, exam success sessions, the study area that I'm opening this week, and parents' evening. So I hope you're able to kind of watch this through, because it may well mean that we can answer questions before the parents' evening, which is in a couple of weeks' time. Recently, I spoke to Year 11 about 3 key principles to success that they should be working on during this academic year. Focused feedback, precise practice, and hours of hard work. I challenged Year 11 to ignore any grade on their assessments this year. The most important information you can glean from an exam is the feedback detailing what to work on to improve their grade. When revising, all work should be focused around dealing with areas of weakness and checking with the teachers, the mark scheme or online for any improvements that they have made that they need to make. We know that Year 11 have been disadvantaged by not being in school over the last while, but also we know that in most subjects that there has been a reduction in the course content in order that students will not be disadvantaged if they work hard. Hours of hard work should be a timetable that's built around sessions in school. Ideally, it would be a timetable that reviews work from lessons during the day, but also repeatedly tries to recall facts from earlier in the course. We do not envisage a closure of the school, but if we were to close, we would prioritise a return for Year 11 as soon as it's safe. If we're instructed by government to stay at home, we'll ensure that students receive their timetable through Teams at home. We will send home a timetable to students as the times of the day will change slightly. It will involve a greater proportion of independent work, but we'll start with teaching from their normal class teacher each lesson. All lessons will be recorded and the day will be timetabled to provide an opportunity for students to catch up on previous lessons if, for example, they are sharing a device at home. With mock exams, you may realise that we decided not to run our normal mock exams in October, November time. We wanted to give students more opportunities to be in the classroom with their teachers rather than in exam halls. As we move through the year, it is important, as I mentioned earlier, that students get focused feedback on their learning, and a mock exam is a good source for this information. Students will have exams at the end of December and the beginning of January, and there may be a second set of mocks in March. So what to expect if the government say that there are no exams this year? We do expect the exams to take place this year, but we are preparing for the possibility of students not being able to take exams due to the national situation. When calculating the centre assessed grades last year, which eventually led to the final examination grade, we used a range of assessment and looked at the results of previous cohorts of students in Year 11 to help us get as accurate a grade as possible. It is an extremely difficult process, as we're not able to take into account that last burst of work that some students do that maybe moves them up by 1 or 2 or even 3 grades in some subjects. We are limited on what they have achieved up until that point. If we are asked to calculate centre assessment grades, we will use mock examination results. We'll use their current forecast grades. We'll use any assessment grades from class such as short topic tests. We'll use any results of low stake testing such as mini tests or questioning classwork and homework. If this takes place and we do have to calculate the grades, there will be the potential for appeal at the end of the process, but we do hope that the exams will take place as usual. In terms of maths, English and science, also known as our core 3 subjects. There will be a series of PowerPoints one for each subject, detailing the ways that your child could revise for each of those subjects. We've put some revision techniques on there as well, and we will also give you a parental survival guide, or parent survival guide, sorry, which will detail all of the different revision guides and websites that are out there for each subject. All of that information will be placed in the parent section under information evenings. Hopefully you've received a letter from myself about exam success sessions. So during the year we will be running exam success sessions. Hopefully you've already received this letter, and you will over the next little while start to receive emails about ESS your child has been invited to. Our ESS this year will sometimes run online, as we're trying to minimise the number of students in school. We've limited the ESS in school to ones that require specific school devices or need to be in controlled assessment conditions. It is likely that on some weeks your child will not have any exam success sessions to attend, but we hope that they can use this time to study independently at home. So at the time of recording this, I'm just starting the study area this week. We're starting with 30 students, and we're hoping to build it up in terms of the number of students we can accommodate in school over the next little while. The idea behind the study area is to give students a space to work which is really quiet and focused, and gives them a really good chance to get started on the habits that are going to make success of this year. So we're going to provide past papers within that space and the mark schemes that go along with those. But equally, we're going to make sure that it's a quiet area so that students can work really well. We look forward to increasing the number of students attending this, and hopefully that will happen next week. In terms of Parents' Evening, we want to give you the opportunity to ask lots of questions about school, but hopefully some of the questions that you maybe had at the back of your mind regarding school closures and exams, etc., have now been answered by this video. In the Parents' Evening, it would be really good to have an opportunity to discuss 3 key areas that your child has identified to improve on during this year. These will be areas that are specific and achievable and hopefully measurable. We'll also be able to discuss attitude and punctuality alongside any other questions or concerns you have. If you have a concern that requires more than the 5 minutes that our Parents' Evening online system will allow, then please contact the school before Parents' Evening and speak to Mr. Stevens, Mr. West, or myself, Mr. McCluskey. Thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to welcoming you at Parents' Evening. Goodbye.